Hello, Gary Champion, psychic medium. Um, Making a little video today. Christmas is a few days away. And this morning I was thinking, I was reflecting on just being thankful for what I've got. I guess you're supposed to do that in Thanksgiving, but I blew right through that holiday. I didn't even acknowledge that it was there. I didn't eat turkey, didn't do any of the traditional things. It seems that December, get close to the new year, you start reevaluating uh, your life, at least for this year. And I think I've done some pretty good things this year, so I'm pretty happy with that. March the 13th, February the 13th, I have a psychic medium development class for those of you who want to learn something about being a psychic medium. And March the 13th, self-healing. So I've reevaluated what I've done this year. Was I happy with it? Yes. Love my wife, my family, and I like what I've done this year. I like the results that I got, the people that attended my classes, the people that called me on the phone, the emails that I've gotten, the comments in the YouTube channel, by and large, are positive. It's hard for me to get, occasionally we get a thumbs down, but mostly it's good stuff. And there's a couple of things that will keep you from ever being successful. And I know what they are because I've had both of them. Until you conquer these two things, you're really not going to be successful. Or if you are successful, you won't be as successful if you would have been if you didn't have these two things constantly in yourself. The first one is self-doubt. And it's pretty common. People doubt their own abilities. But I've taken a lot of chances in my life, and they seem to work out. So, starting from an early age, I don't have self-doubt. Even if something doesn't turn out very well, I just dismiss it and move on. Why? Because self-doubt will rot you inside. There's no place to go if you have self-doubt. You don't put yourself out there. And that, to me, is being successful. Successful has nothing to do with money. From my standpoint, from the world, money is everything. If you ask 1,000 people out there on the street that say, "Oh yeah, I got to have money. Money's, blah blah blah," it's never been a big factor in my life. I always seem to have a lot of fun and help people, and you can't do that with self-doubt, which is why I've offered these 2 new classes next year. And I have a bunch of new classes. I just don't know when I'm going to offer them. When I see people signing up for them, that's when I'll offer some new classes. But you can't stick those things out there because you doubt. If no one signs up to take these classes, I still consider them successful. They're well written. They have a beginning, a middle, and an ending, and it all ties together and makes sense. So if no one takes the class, I'm still a success because I wrote the class. So I don't self-doubt, well, maybe the class isn't any good. No, it's not that. Class is good. The people have doubt about taking the class. It still doesn't make it an unsuccessful class. Anyway, self-doubt's the first one. And women do more of it than men do. Men will chop their way through a forest and not really think too much about it. And there's a cause for concern there. That's kind of what we're doing now. We're destroying the forest without thinking about it. We're just going forward. Women are more introspective. They tend to think about things before they do them. And then they reevaluate the consequences at the end. So a lot of self-doubt in women. I always say follow your heart, not your head. Head can confuse you. It's like the conscious voice versus subconscious voice. The conscious voice is the one that takes over, usually the one that's running things, and it can run amok, and you end up nowhere. The subconscious mind generally does the right thing. And how do you get there? It's a meditation thing. Just relax. Relax, the subconscious mind comes out and guides you where you need to be going. And there is no self-doubt in the subconscious mind. It doesn't exist there. It's not a factor. It looks at you and says, this is what you need to be doing, and it'll give you little hints. And those who follow the hints are usually happy. Happiness to me equals success, not money. So if you're happy, you're successful. You can be on a sinking ship and be happy, and to me that's success. If you're happy with what you're doing and who you are, then that's success. The second thing is fear. Fear can freeze you up and keep you from doing things you should be doing. When you hear that little inner voice saying, why don't you go into this? Then you say, gee, I don't know anything about that. Well, that's the point. Sometimes you go into things you don't know anything about in order to learn things. Fear keeps you from reaching your full potential. Fear also doesn't exist in the subconscious mind. The subconscious brain doesn't know fear. It doesn't exist. The conscious mind knows fear. Ooh, I remember what happened the last time. And maybe you failed at something, but you didn't execute it correctly. Sometimes that's all it is, like becoming a psychic medium. Well, I'm not becoming a psychic medium. I'm not able to cross that barrier that holds me back. That's subconscious mind stuff. But in your conscious mind, you shouldn't be attempting to become a psychic medium with your conscious mind. It just doesn't work. Subconscious mind is where all those abilities are. And when you truly access the subconscious through meditation or whatever thing works for you, there is no fear, there is no self-doubt there, which is why I question whether a lot of people are accessing the subconscious mind. They say they are. They're meditating. But while they're meditating, they're worried about their car and their house and their insurance and their children and school. And so conscious mind allows fear and self-doubt. Subconscious mind doesn't know what it is. If you're truly in a meditative state, which is where all these classes go that I'm teaching, we all have to, in that class, we have to access the subconscious mind. And there are meditations for every class in order to make it effective. If you want to become a self-healer, it begins in the subconscious mind. You want to develop as a psychic medium, you can think about it. The conscious mind has a purpose, but it's usually what's right in front of you. If you're going to think into the future, or if you're going to develop an ability to listen to the other side, or talk to animals, or anything like that, it happens in the subconscious mind. It does not happen in the conscious mind. Conscious mind only knows what it knows. It repeats things. It doesn't know the unknown. Conscious mind does not know the unknown. Subconscious mind knows everything if you access it. That's where your guides are. Your guides are in the subconscious mind. That's where they contact you. That's why you get those weird dreams at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've had them my whole life. 3 o'clock, I'm up. Okay, what are you going to say? It's annoying for the first 10 years or so. After that, you just, okay, what do you got? And you listen and write it down, or it's gone. Usually it's repetitive in a dream. They'll repeat it over and over, and your whole night is a nightmare of repeating some little silly thing. If you write it down, it goes away, because you told them you got it. I got that message. I'll write it down. Blah, 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 blah. And I have a notepad here just full of stuff. Names and dates and things that are going to happen. And for some reason, they're not something I'm willing to talk about right now. But all that occurs in the subconscious mind, which is what happens when you're asleep. Conscious mind shuts off. Subconscious mind comes out to play. That's where your guides are. You can achieve that same level of subconscious mind during the daytime, during bright sunlight. You don't have to do it at night. It's like reading haunted houses. I used to do that all the time. People would want me to come out at midnight, of course, or at 3 a.m, whenever the strange occurrence was happening. You know, they see spirits walking, knocking, things turning off and on. All that happens at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you go out at 2 o'clock in the morning, read the billing, tell them who it was and what it was about. But it can be done just as easily during the daytime. I haven't done one of those for a while that I'm aware of. Possible I have and don't remember it. Everything you want to know about yourself or the world or your abilities, developing them is in your subconscious mind. You plant the seed there. Anyway, I think I've probably talked long enough about it. The beauty of life can't be overstated. This is kind of something I'm feeling right now, that, okay, the world's in a mess. Well, I stopped doing videos about that because what am I going to say? All this little minutia about so-and-so's going to jail, and this guy's going to get arrested, and this guy's going to spill the beans, and this guy's going to refuse to testify, and volcanoes and wherever, and I feel like I'm adding to the angst of the world when I don't have huge viewers. I think it's, 3,500 people. That's not a lot. So, but I feel like that if I contribute to the angst, then I'm part of the problem. So I've sort of stopped doing those. Occasionally I get something really loud and I'll do a video about it. But these are videos to help you achieve the best in you. And when you achieve the best in you, you realize how beautiful life is. Life is short. It's not long. People say it's long. They're full of crap. It's not. Life's short. I've been lucky to live a fairly long life. And more to come. But if you always wanted to do something, why aren't you doing it? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. If there's something in life I wanted to do, I've pretty much done it. I can't think of anything I want to do that I haven't done. Even impossible things, I think I've done a lot of those. So by not having self-doubt, by not having fear, I've achieved things that others haven't. At whatever level. I'm not super, but by removing fear and self-doubt and listening to my subconscious, allowing it to tell me which direction to go, I've avoided the pitfalls a lot of people fall into. I've developed as a psychic medium because I listen to the other side. And I'm self-aware. That happens if you've lived a long time and you access the subconscious, you become self-aware. You realize who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and what's to come. Anybody can do it. And if you say, I'll never be a psychic medium, that's self-doubt. Don't listen to it. It's not real. Conscious mind will tell you lies. Conscious mind will let those fears come out and say, "Ooh, I won't do that." And I've always told the story. When I was a kid, I was meditative a lot, and I saw Steve Reeves, I guess, is an early TV Superman, and he had a cape and he jumped and flew, and I got on the top of a house and put a towel around my neck as though it were a cape and jumped, and of course I didn't fly. I was lucky I didn't kill myself. But I didn't have self-doubt, and I didn't have fear. Just saying, you can accomplish things if you don't have self-doubt and fear. So going into next year, try and erase doubt. Don't let fear grip you. Even if you're dying. Death comes to everybody. I'm not saying we should court it, but being afraid of it doesn't help. It's inevitable. Everything that's living will at some point die. Spirit never dies. Spirit goes to the other side, comes back. So it's renewed, someone's saying very loudly. Thank you, guys. So I want to say a big thank you to everybody that watches my YouTube channel. I don't think I've ever done that before. I should all the time. I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate your comments. And I'm going into next year with hope and with a smile, hoping that everything for you turns out well. Life's a struggle. If it isn't, you're not doing it right. If somebody's paying your bills and you don't have to go out and work, that's not life. I don't know what that is. Suspended animation. So try and eliminate self-doubt and fear and see if your life doesn't just change. What are you fearing? The unknown? That's a big one. That's a big one. The unknown's always feared. It's the number one boogaboo. That's not a word. But if you access the world through your subconscious mind, that goes away. Fear of death doesn't exist there. So thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Thanks for being there. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for being, most of all, for being supportive of the other people who are members. They subscribe, they show up, and they have problems, and you join in and support them. You know, you give good advice. I've read, of course, you know, I read everything. If you write it, I read it. But the supportive manner and the help that you give to each other is worth far more than anything else I can think of. So thank yourself, pat yourself on the back. You're doing good work. You're helping me do good work. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.